To order, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move on to verification of notice.
The meeting was duly noticed at the three normal places, Lake Ripley Inn, the post office, and out here on our board.
Okay. Next, we'll go on to public comment. So if there's any Oakland residents who would like to speak, please come up, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes. Good evening, Jeff.
Thank you. My name is Jeff Bosart. I live on N3102 Treeloft Road. And I want to thank you for allowing me just to take a second here tonight. My wife and I operate Piece of Eden Farm, and we live right next door to my father-in-law, Dave Kemna. And he was notified last week that there's a proposed major transmission line, a 765 kilovolt line that could come right through his property. It would pass, there's several proposed lines going through Jefferson County. And all the way on the east, one of the lines would go through Cold Spring, and we're the western option. And I do understand that there's no permitting that would come from the town of Oakland, and I don't think from the county either. This is a state matter. But there are those of us who would like to see this go either along some existing transmission line that's already in a corridor or a highway, as opposed to greenland, farmland. And there's people that are organizing, and I just wanted to say there's a meeting on this Thursday night at the Dwight Foster Public Library in Fort Atkinson from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, and anyone is welcome to attend that.
I'm sorry, 6:30 to 8 and on
6:30 to
Thursday?
8 in the community room at Dwight Foster Library in Fort. And then next Wednesday, there's an open house at the fairgrounds that is being hosted by the company that has won the right to put this line through, and that is, their name is Mid-Continent Grid Solutions. And so it's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. next Thursday at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. So I know that's not a lot you all can do about it, but some towns along the route, this is a long route, 190-mile route, have actually passed resolutions just in support of, if it has to come through, where they would like to see it come through. So anyways, that's all I have, and I'm going to stick around after the meeting if people want to find out more, and I have some handouts with more information.
Great. Thank you, Jeff. I was waiting until the end of the meeting to have an announcement about this, but I'm going to do this now, if that's okay with the board, so that if in case anybody cannot stay into the end, at least they could hear this. And I do appreciate you bringing this forward, and some of this information will be what you just said. But I wrote something out that Mid-Continent Grid Solution is proposing the BECI project, which is an approximate 190-mile, 765 kilovolt project in Wisconsin. Oh, thank you. The project is to extend east from Crawford County to Columbia County, and then from there it extends south through Sugar Creek and ending at the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. The transmission lines will include 150 to 200 feet tall structures spaced approximately 1,200 feet apart.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, there are several proposed routes, as Jeff had mentioned, and a final route has not been determined yet. There are several routes proposed through Jefferson County, including through the town of Oakland, and the final route may or may not extend through Oakland. but will extend through a portion of Jefferson County. So Mid-Continent Grid Solutions will submit an application to the PSC, the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin. The town of Oakland and Jefferson County and other towns and counties will not be part of the permitting process. So as Jeff mentioned, there is the first round of public open houses late summer, and ours is on Wednesday, August 26th from 10 to 1 at the fairgrounds. But there are others throughout the county, so if you cannot attend the one in Jefferson, there may be others you can attend. Round 2 of public open houses will be in late fall 2026. They will refine and finalize their routes in late fall 2026. They're expected to submit their application to the PSC in 2027, and anticipated PSC decision in summer 2028. So we do encourage all of the residents to attend the open house and voice your concerns. They are requesting public feedback on the study segments by September 7th, and we encourage you to send them a letter addressing your concerns. It is important that you include specifics around any sensitive environmental lands on your property, such as wetlands, floodplains, streams, lakes, etc., and how it may impact your farming or other business operations. It is my understanding that just stating that you object will not be as persuasive as providing this other information. Currently, the PSC is not taking public comment as the application has not been submitted. And we request that you send a copy of any letter you sent to Midwest Continent, to the town of Oakland, so we understand how this transmission line will be impacting our residents. And while we are not a part of the permitting process, we are determining the best way to support our residents and prevent transmission lines impacting our residents' property from both an environmental and operational standpoint. So as Jeff mentioned, they just received it, and we as well in the Lake District just received copies of it this last week. So there hasn't been a lot of time yet to determine what's happening fully, but I have talked to the town attorney, the Lake District manager, our county supervisor, the county planning and zoning department head, and our state representative, Joan Fitzgerald. And as this is very new information for all of us, we are all working as quickly as possible to understand the process and implications. We will be keeping the lines of communication open, and we will update our residents as we learn more. We have posted this information on the website, including a link to the ECI website, so all our residents can find out more information, and we will continue as we know more to put that on the website as well. So, yeah, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention here. And
Laura, can I ask, confirming that the Dwight Foster meeting is Thursday and the Jefferson County Fair meeting is Wednesday? That is the true statement?
Wednesday, the 26th,
Okay,
is at the County Fair
26.
Grounds
Okay.
Activity Center, and that's the Mid-Continent Grid Solutions. It will not be a formal presentation. It's just be an open house, so anytime between 10 and 1 you can attend.
Okay, so that's and the Dwight Foster is this Thursday.
This Thursday?
This Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, that's a resident.
Yeah, organizing group.
Okay.
Okay.
This other one is the transmission line
Sure.
group. Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. So is there any additional public comment? Please come.
And I know some of this is backing you up, but my name is Monica Gerner. Our address is W8215 Perry Road. Basically, we'd really like the board to actually do some commenting themselves, because it always goes over much better to have a title after your name than local resident. I'm encouraging everybody to write or submit their comments. Right now, if the line goes through Oakland Center, it will go through approximately 60 acres of land that we own. Not only are we exposed to this kind of line, which would be very near to my home, possibly our home, depending upon the stay away from the big lines, could possibly be too close to that line, but it also would impact the farm that we've had in 3 generations now that is highly, it's tiled completely. The only way we can farm it is to keep the tiles going. And we also have the major pipeline going through our farm, so we don't have a lot of choice on that. It's been there for a long time, and they're looking at putting in another line in the near future, which we won't have any really say in it. But we're contending with that and always have been, and the dangers of a pipeline and the things they've sent us out over the years, like whistles in case we smell anything, and flags if the wind is blowing and there's some kind of explosion, what to do. We've got that already under our belt, knowing that we have exposure to that, let alone to have this high-powered, which is supposedly the third largest powered line in the state, coming our way. And I really feel like everybody needs to pay attention to that, knowing that what we already have through this township with, like I said, the pipeline and then all the solar farms. I mean, we're taking ag land left and right, and it's very sad.
Yeah, so please attend that meeting
We will
and
do
send the company a letter, and definitely send a copy, and we will gather all of that, and somehow a resolution, a letter, whatever is deemed the most appropriate and most effective, we can get that out as
Okay.
well, so they'll have
We
multiple
also have
copies.
pictures, because when the
Oh, great.
pipeline went through last time and what it did to the whole water system in our farm, we've got pictures of what happened that time, which was several years ago, but it doesn't mean it, with them putting the power lines in and how deep they have to drill, that won't happen again. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So is that address on our website or anything,
The address of,
where you would send the letter? The company?
you will have to go to, there's a link to their website, and there is an address on there.
On our website, there's a link.
We have
There's a link.
links to their website, yes. We posted some stuff. It looks like Jeff's going to give you an address if you want one. Or you can give, we'll get this posted on the website.
Oh, thank you.
But we do have information on there and a link, and they have a big website with all of this information.
Lake District is also looking at this very closely, and we have a bunch of stuff on our website also.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to make public comment? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to approval of the minutes of July 9th special meeting and July 21st, 2026 meeting. You all received a copy of that last Monday. We didn't get any comments on that. If you do have any typos, you can send them off to Wendy, but if there are any substantive changes, please bring them forward now.
Can I just ask a question about the July 9th? Did we do the letter to Jefferson County supporting the moratorium?
Yes.
Did you send a copy to us?
I don't believe I sent a copy to you. A copy was sent to them, but I can get you a copy of it.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Procedural, because this isn't because I wasn't here at the last meeting. Can I, do I vote on the minutes for
You
the
can
meeting that I
abstain.
wasn't here? Perfect.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for July 9th, special meeting.
Okay, Jimmy has motion. Do I have a second?
I can second that.
Okay. All in favor of the meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And that is for both.
Was that for both, Jimmy, or just for one?
You just
I
said the
made the
ninth.
motion for the special meeting.
Okay,
Okay,
so
for
we'll
that's
move
what I
on
thought,
to
the
the
special.
July 21st meeting. Any additional comments on that? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I can make another motion for approving the minutes of the July 21st town board meeting.
Okay, do we have a second?
I will second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No abstain. Abstain. Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. All right. We'll move on to the fire chief's report.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Chief Russ.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
I really do not have much to add tonight because July was just a little bit of a slower month for us. Staffing dipped a little bit, but we have a couple more people that are going to be coming on here within the next month or two. Overall, July was a slow month for us. We only responded out of our area 3 times. Hazardous materials or hazardous type incidents was 7 responses, 7 medical responses, 2 fires, 3 motor vehicle accidents, 8 false alarm activations, and 3 of those were out of service, as I mentioned earlier, and then other type responses. Upcoming department events, we have the Lifeline Wellness Screening that's going to be occurring at the station. We've had them there now, I think, the past 2 years. They're an organization, you can go in there, they do medical screening, kind of screen for like strokes, stuff like that. And it's between you and them as the provider, and it's been a pretty successful thing out there for us, so we look to keep that moving forward with them. CPR and AED.
When is that?
I don't have the date ahead of me.
Okay.
I can,
Can you send it to me?
yeah, I can
And
send
then
it
I'll
to you.
share it.
CPR and AED, we've been working on that with the high schools as they're getting ready to go back into service here. And preliminary budget's been submitted to finance and city manager for review. So other than that, any questions that you might have for me? That's all I have.
No, I don't have any questions.
As you can see, we start our budget process pretty early in the year just to make sure that we get everything in line and kind of have time to review it and look at other items as they come forward. But pretty much that starts already in June. We start taking a look at it, so we do it pretty early.
Good. And you have a quarterly meeting to go over any of that?
Yes. I don't have a date set yet, but there will be one coming up.
Okay, great.
All right.
Good questions. Thank you for all you do for us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks.
Nice, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay. Discussion and possible action on operator's license for Jaden Bargholz. Is Jaden here?
No, they don't usually come for
Okay.
this. This was brought to me by Cash and Olives, and I did a review of Jaden, and they have no outstanding arrest or any criminal record, so I would recommend them for an operator's license without reservation.
So that's where he'll be working, Cash and
You will be
Olives?
working at Cash and Olives, yep.
Holds the current license already?
Well, it looks like in the past 2 years, he's held an operator's license. They didn't say whether he had that still currently or not, but it asked for in the past 2 years, because if they've had it in the past 2 years, they don't have to take the safe serve class again.
Okay, so we're all good there?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve Jaden's
Okay.
license, operator's license.
Okay, Jimmy's made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of the operator's license for Jaden Bargholz, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries. At this time, Michael, including our attorney, had asked that we discuss the possibility of moving up the closed session. He was going to attend that by phone. So he wanted us to see if we would be willing to move that up now instead of waiting until later in the evening for this.
You need a
So-
motion, we need a motion to move it up then?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to move item number 22, closed session, till now.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right. We have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Hearing none. Motion carries. I apologize to the public about that, but this is the time that he would be able to meet with us. I don't think it will take that long, and then we will come back into open session.
We should actually read the.
Yes. We should. We will move on to that. So I will motion to convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85 1G, conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral and written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Town of Oakland versus Town of Christiana et al., 2024 CV 001714, and related arbitration proceeding. Okay. Now,
I'll second.
I will redo that. Okay, I will make a motion to authorize the chair to sign the representation letter from Johnson Block
I'll
on
second.
the advice of your attorney.
I'll second.
Okay. All right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And I will make another motion to authorize the town attorney to take any necessary action regarding the lawsuit and arbitration number 2024 CV 001714, including dismissal.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, so we will move back to our regularly scheduled agendas. So the next on our list is discussion and possible action on the road agreement for Cornstead Farms Solar Farm. So as you recall, last month we approved the conditions for the solar farm and the stormwater agreement. So for those present today and who may not have been here last month, we approved conditions, about 30 conditions for a 35-acre solar farm that will go to the county for final approval. This is something that we really cannot deny based on state statutes. So it was necessary for us to put together about 30 conditions to help protect the town. And this town road use agreement is another way to protect the town for our roads, protect keeping a route for the solar farm construction. The attorneys for the solar farm, however, have not given their final consent because they have been out of the office for the last couple of weeks, and so they've asked us to hold off. But this has been reviewed by others at the solar farm, and they have just asked us to hold off on our final approval of this, but I wanted to bring it forward anyway so that we could look at it, discuss it, and then see if there's any changes that you see that that we could make. I don't anticipate any major changes to this, maybe some minor wording. The main part of the agreement is that they will finish their construction, as we have in the conditions, before the construction of Hope Lake Road. So it's very important that we do that, and there will be consequences if they do not finish it before our road construction starts.
That's March 1st, 2028.
Yes, correct. So everything will need to be done by then. They will, during construction, they will go down A to Hope Lake Road and continue east. They will not be using any other roads. If any of those roads are used and damaged, they will need to repair them. And any other roads, they will need to repair those, including Hope Lake Road. We're going to be reconstructing it. However, in the meantime, if something happens during construction, anything that really needs to be fixed in the interim will be fixed. So that's what we have here. Like I said, I wanted to bring it forward now, even though I don't want to take action, just so you have a chance to discuss it now, and we can bring back to the attorney anything that you see that you would like to add or edit.
You're going to bring it back next month?
Yes.
There will be,
They will have to have this, though, because it is in the conditions that they sign a road agreement with us.
right, and prior to the start of all this, there will be an inspection of the road.
Yes.
And pictures, I assume, so we know what the damage would be.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Presumably, the trucks, if they're wise, they will drive up A, go onto Hope Lake Road, get to the property, turn around and go back out that same section of Hope Lake Road.
That's what they're required to do.
That's what they're required to do.
So if anyone, they will have to put up signs that show the routes
Sure.
and what
Yep.
roads they will not be going on.
And if they are, because we're redoing that road, are we looking for any damage that they caused to the road that's being redone? Or are we looking for the road to be in a state that people can use the road? I
Yes,
guess I don't
yes.
understand.
Yeah, I would say yes for
Okay.
Hope Lake. But if they do, it has it in here for other roads as well, in
If they
case
were, okay,
subcontractors decide not to.
to go in another direction.
But of course, we
and-
can enforce it then and say, hey, look, we have this, you can't be
Right.
using these roads.
Gotcha, perfect,
But yeah, if they damage any of the other roads, they will have to repair them as well.
okay.
And then, if they delay the construction of this, then they will have to pay
Yeah, I saw, I
for,
read through that.
yeah, they'll have to,
The
to-
additional costs
costs.
and
inflationary costs
Yeah.
for the project, for the
that part of
delays.
that,
Mhm. So that will definitely help with the town.
Thought it was also interesting that they could put up cameras so that they could see that nobody else damaged the roads. Instead, I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
the things you learn when you haven't been a part of this
We have
world.
agreements with
Sure.
some of the other businesses on some of the other crossroads between Hope Lake and 18, so that they help maintain those roads because they have a lot of heavy trucks as well. So it's important for us that no one else is having to pay for.
Something that they've done. Mhm.
So like I said, I think that this should be very, very close to final stage unless anybody sees something that they feel would be necessary. We can bring it back to our attorney. You can take a look at this some more if you feel you would like to do that and get back in the next week or so. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so we'll move on then. Move on to discussion and possible action on resolution number 2026-1014, that repeals resolution number 1014 in its entirety, setting the building permit fee schedule in the town of Oakland. So this resolution is, the 1014 is now obsolete because we now will have resolution 2025-04. So that is really the only reason for this resolution, to clean up.
Okay. I'll make a motion to remove the resolution number 2026-1014, and that repeals the resolution number 1014 in its entirety. I guess that would be the motion, right?
Yes.
I
To
second.
to approve resolution, not remove it.
Right, to approve this resolution number, correct.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We will move on to agenda item number 10, discussion and possible action on resolution number 2026-06, setting the
You
fees.
missed one.
Oh, my apologies. 2026-2022-2 that repeals resolution number 2022-2 in its entirety, setting the building permits required and permit fees in the town of Oakland.
So it's resolution number 2026-2022.
Dash 2022-2.
Oh, it's supposed to be a dash 2?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it has on the resolution up there.
Why is it a dash 2?
I don't know. That's just,
Because we're repealing the 2022-2.
yes. So it's just adding the 2026 in front of it to go to our new numbering order. And so this is now obsolete because of resolution 2025-04. So this, the resolution 2022-2 is obsolete. It's not required for us to have on our books.
Well, okay.
You'd have to ask Laura. Laura did the, I said you'd have to ask Laura. Laura did the numbering on it, so.
I don't know what the 2022-2 under the 2026, why we would do that, but I'd have to look it up. I've done it before. Okay.
Okay. Did anyone make a motion?
I move to approve resolution number 2026-2022-2 that repeals resolution 2022-2 in its entirety.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of the resolution number 2026-2022-2, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion
I'll
carries.
say opposed because I don't know what that 2022-2 is.
Okay,
It still goes through.
okay. Okay, we will move on to discussion and possible action on resolution number 2026-06, setting the fees for the sales of lots in the Oakland Evergreen Cemetery. Okay, so this resolution is being created to reflect that the town of Oakland only charges for lot sales. It doesn't charge for perpetual care or burial cost. And it's updated to reflect the state statutes as well. So we did have one, but it talked about the perpetual care. And we don't have any fees for that. We don't handle that. So we just wanted to have a resolution that reflects what we actually do.
Okay. I will make the motion to approve resolution number 2026-06, setting the fees and sales of lots of Oakland Greenery, Evergreen Cemetery.
Okay, have a motion? Do you have a second? Okay, any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of resolution number 2026-06, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Now we will move on to discussion and possible action on resolution number 2026-1010 that repeals resolution number 1010 in its entirety, cemetery lot sales and burial costs. So this is what we're going to repeal and replace with the resolution we just created. So this one is now obsolete. Any questions on that? Okay, do I have a motion?
I move to approve resolution number 2026-1010 that repeals resolution 1010 in its entirety, setting the fee schedule for the sales and burials in the Oakland Evergreen Cemetery.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of resolution number 2026-1010, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, discussion and possible action on amending resolution number 1001, policy on photocopying fees and procedures. So this resolution is being amended to, to reflect the fee schedule. So it's just taking the fees out of the resolution and putting them in the fee schedules. And we'll go over the fee schedules in a bit.
So do we need the resolution then? I mean, need that? Why isn't that repealed then?
Yeah.
It's just amending it, it's not repealing it. It's just amending the procedures.
Yeah, it says down in there, it says the requester shall fill out an open records request form and pay a fee for obtaining photocopies as established by a fee schedule adopted and amended from time to time by resolution of the town.
Right.
So we just took the amount out,
Yeah, we took the amount out.
and we're keeping the resolution.
Yeah, we're just amending it
We're
to
just
take them
amending
out.
it.
We got to
Say
have a
out of the-
resolution, otherwise we can't charge.
Correct.
Right. I'll make a motion to approve the amendment of resolution number 1001, policy and photocopying fees and procedures.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of resolution number 1001, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, moving on to number 13. Discussion and possible action on amending section 6 of ordinance 24, authorizing provisional operator license. So this too is being amended to reflect that the fees are going to be put into the fee schedule, not in the ordinance. And this ordinance had referred to ordinance number 53, which is now number 2026-53.
So I guess we're not actually amending, we're repealing and recreating section 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
In chapter 1 of the fee schedule?
Right.
Yes.
Because the rest of the ordinance stays the same.
Yes.
We're just recreating section 6,
Yes,
so it's
yes.
not an amendment.
Yeah, we're just repealing and recreating or amending it, yes. So instead of saying, here's our fees, we're saying, go to the fee
I
schedule.
know, but I think in the past we have worded it different.
Okay.
I just took whatever wording Laura gave me and copied it
Yeah,
onto the
Laura Lowry
agenda.
had done it. So, but yes, it's a ordinance repealing and recreating section 6. So we're taking out the original section 6 regarding fees and saying, please find it in the fee schedule.
Okay.
Verify with her and make sure that the language is the same
Yeah,
for all of them.
yeah, we can just make sure the language is the same. Okay, any further discussion? Anyone like to make a motion?
I move to approve repealing and recreating section 6 of ordinance number 24 and placing it under chapter 1 of licenses and permits in the fee schedule.
Second?
Okay, any further discussion?
I do have, you can't have the signature line on a separate page, just like that.
Well, we'll have to see if we can fix it then
You
with
just have to
some-
do a page break, so you have the date, the adopted date,
Okay.
and the signature.
And again, I just printed or took what she gave me and
Okay,
made
so-
copies. So
Well,
I will
just
go
so
ahead
it
and
Yeah, we can-
enter a page break.
Yeah, we can do a page
It
break.
gets corrected, otherwise it's not proper.
Okay, we'll ensure that that happens. Okay, the motion a second,
Joan made the motion, Jimmy seconded.
seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye?
Aye, opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, so moving on to discussion and possible action on repealing and recreating Section 3 of Ordinance 48, authorizing provisional retail license. So this also is to reflect that the fees will be in the fee schedule. And this ordinance had referred to 53, which is now number 2026-53. And then this motion needs to be include amending this ordinance in Chapter 1, License and Permits.
Okay. I'll
And
make
we
a-
can move this again, just
Yep.
to format it.
Move the line over. I'll make a motion to, for appealing and amending Section 3 of Ordinance 48, authorizing the provisional retail license.
Okay, we have a
With the
motion
addition of moving the lines around.
With the chapter,
Yeah.
whatever.
in Chapter 1,
Yep.
placing in Chapter 1. Okay, do I have a second?
that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. So we will move on to discussion of possible action on repealing and recreating Section 6 of Ordinance 8, regulation of hours for the operation of businesses selling and dispensing alcohol beverages in the town of Oakland. So this one too is being amended to reflect the fee schedule. We will, under regulation of hours, we will need to discuss the fees when we get to the fee schedule. And this motion needs to be included in Chapter 1. Okay, any questions about that?
Make a motion to appeal and amend Section 3 of Ordinance 8, the regulatory hours for operation of businesses selling and dispensing alcoholic beverages for the town of Oakland, to
Okay.
include any additional line moving around. Signatures.
Chapter.
In Chapter
Placing in
1.
Chapter
Chapter
1, you
one.
said?
Yes. Okay, we have a motion by Jimmy.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion to amend or repeal and recreate Section 3 of Ordinance 8, say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay. So now we will move on to discussion and possible action on amending Resolution 2026-02 fee schedule. So you have a resolution, follow.
Both copies redlined and regular.
I see that, thank you.
So you have the red line of the fee schedules. We put in here the provisional retail license. That's when they have the day license, and that's going to be $15. That was added in here. And then what I had mentioned before was regulation of hours. So what we had in the ordinance was a violation, and it was a maximum of $500. So this is if they are operating past hours of operation. We have talked in recent ordinances that we have, trying to get away from a range and be more specific on what the fees would be so that we're not guessing and that residents can't say, well, why I'm getting charged this amount instead of a lesser amount. So it's just more consistent and clear cut. And so right now the regulation is ours just a maximum of 500. So that means you can charge up to that. They might be, if people are open 5 minutes past closing, are they going to be charged $500? Or is that going to be the same as if they're open like for 6 hours past that for some reason? This hasn't really been an issue at all. We haven't really just, had any fines for this, but the ordinance needs to be cleaned up, so we just need to have a discussion about that now. Does anyone have any strong opinions about it?
Who makes that decision? A judge? The amount?
I'm not sure in this case who would, if it would be. In some of them, it is a judge, and some of it is, depending on how the ordinance is written, is like the town chair. I don't have that ordinance.
I mean, how would, I feel like if someone they're open past hours, then there's law enforcement involved and they get some sort of a ticket, and then they have to go before, I
Before a
don't know.
judge,
I guess
I asked that question last time when the chief was here, and she said that they need an amount to put on the ticket. And
Okay.
then you can go to court and contest that amount, and then
Okay.
it's up to the judge what the judge will actually
Okay.
order.
So the ticket is really 500.
Well,
Can be.
you're
Can
up
be.
to a max of that,
It
yeah.
can be 500. It could
Right,
be
but if you're
300.
going to put something on the ticket, you're
would-
just.
According to her, you would put the $500 on the
Okay.
ticket.
Okay.
And then it's up to you to go and dispute that amount. That's what I understood she told me last time.
Okay.
When I questioned that same thing.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I don't need a lot of, a little bit of curiosity, but a little bit, if we're trying to make it more cut and dried and not say, why is somebody getting 300? Does that open us up to somebody, depending on who makes that decision, I guess.
If it is the judge, then we're kind of out of that, so
Right,
yes.
which is fine by me, right?
Yes.
Right, so they do have hours of operation in here, and then it is any person violating the provisions of this ordinance shall be
If it's
punished by a
5
fine.
minutes and whatever, if it's 5 minutes for the past 10 days in a row, that's different, if it, whatever. And that's
exactly.
a judge's decision, not
You could,
law enforcement
you
or
could fix this real easy
just
by
say it's
just taking
500.
the word max out.
That's
Just
what
say
I
And
was
then
just
let them
saying,
go,
it's
and if they decide to
$500.
go to the judge, then the judge decides.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's the best as well.
Yeah,
So,
You might want to check with the chief to see how that would be written in the citation.
do you know this,
So
Dale?
we don't, like, you guys would set whatever the amount is, and that gets automatically loaded into tracks, which is how we issue the citations. We don't edit those numbers at all. So whatever it's set, that's the set number, and then like you said, that gets handed out to the judge. If someone comes and contests it, she can lower it, do whatever, but.
So if they say 500, it'll automatically, just for you, just go 500.
Numbers in the ordinance, and then that gets automatically loaded.
Okay.
That when we type that ordinance
Right.
violation in, it automatically will populate that number.
Right.
Like, if you give us a range, it still has to be a set one that we automatically, like, that's the baseline.
So it wouldn't say, your citation would not say a maximum of 500.
No, it would just write 500.
500.
And if you say you
That's
have
what I
a range in there,
understood
say
she
it's
told me.
300 to 500, we would still need a baseline one. Like, it's not like a sliding scale in there, like, it just gives us.
Just take it out.
Okay, let's just take that out.
the max.
I would.
Max.
The officer doesn't think it's enough of a violation, he doesn't have to issue it,
Right,
you know?
right, if
True.
it's just 5 minutes,
Right.
you have discretion.
Right.
5 minutes, they've never had any violations, we wouldn't even.
Right.
Right, I think that would solve it. And then the other edit in the fee schedule is under court. It says court costs instead of court fees, and that is just what is consistent with the state statutes. They called it cost instead of fees.
Okay.
What's the alliteration?
And then in cemeteries, we have in there, instead of spaces, we call it lots. That's just consistent with the verbiage in the ordinance. And it would be $600 per lot, and then all of the other information regarding maintenance is going to be removed, since we don't do that. So that's the changes that are made.
And this just pertains to Evergreen? That's the one on 12? Or what about this North?
Oakland,
Are other spaces available in those other ones?
I would have to check and see if there are spaces available in Oakland. In Evergreen, I know there are, because we have a map of it, and we've actually sold some of them since I've been here. But the other one, I don't know whether we have any spaces available anymore. I would have to look and see if there's a map in the folder.
yeah, so you're right. How would we, does that have to distinguish
No,
who charges, or any cemetery, the lots in any cemetery are $600 per lots?
yes,
That would be any of the ones we manage.
yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wouldn't make a
No,
difference
it's
which
no
cemetery.
No, it's no different.
I think that's pretty standard amount.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to amend Resolution 2026-02 fee schedule with the one correction we made of removing max. That's
Right.
all we did, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approval of resolution number 2026-02, fee schedule, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Now we will move on to discussion and possible action on resolution number 2026-08, dissolving the Village of Cambridge and the Town of Oakland Cable Television Advisory Commission. So you have the resolution as well as some other information in your packet. So as board members are aware, the town receives quarterly franchise fees from Spectrum Cable. The quarterly payment varies slightly each quarter as they are based on number of subscriptions. Franchise fees are received as compensation for renting and using the public rights-of-way, streets, and easements to run their physical cables and infrastructures. Please be aware that having this infrastructure in our right-of-ways creates a burden on our Public Works Department. They must work around these cables during routine maintenance and repairs to our roads. For state statutes, the franchise fees may be placed in our general funds and used at the discretion to help reduce the tax burden to our residents. There are no restrictions on how we must spend these fees. 20 years ago, having a cable commission may have made sense. Local municipalities had some regulatory authority over the cable commissions. Thus, the cable commission was formed to negotiate and be a liaison between the cable company and the customers. However, the municipalities no longer have any control. It has been taken over by the state. Thus, the cable commission is no longer necessary. At some point, the commission started to record and upload videos to a local access channel. Professional videoing and broadcasting on local access channel was the only method for recording and viewing our town meetings. However, technology has changed dramatically. There are now more cost-effective methods to record meetings and allow residents to review. To be clear, it is not suggested that we discontinue recording our meetings. Instead, we are suggesting there is a more cost-effective and sustainable solution. Oakland has no ordinance regarding the distribution of franchise fees, the creation of an advisory commission, nor giving the sole power to the commission to hire employees, negotiate wages, or purchasing equipment. As an advisory commission, The town and village should have the ultimate decision on distribution of franchise fees. As more streaming services are available to consumers, fewer people are subscribing to cable, resulting in a decrease in quarterly franchise fees. It is unknown how long we will be receiving these fees or at what rate fees will be diminished. Additionally, expenses are increasing. In 2025, expenditures were approximately $73,000 and revenue was approximately $48,000, resulting in a $25,000 deficit. In 2026, the operational budget with $10,000 deficit was approved at the Commission's meeting on May 12th. This budget does not include a capital expenditure of approximately $15,000 for equipment, which was also approved at that meeting. The operational capital combined budgets will result in a deficit of $25,000 approximately, based on the estimated revenues. While there is currently a large reserve amount, it is unclear what the reserves may be used for. If the reserve is unrestricted, based on the deficits incurred in '25 and the projected deficits in 2026, the reserves will be depleted within a few years. This resolution has been brought to the town board because based on this budgetary information, as I just outlined, the Advisory Cable Commission is not acting in a financially responsible manner, nor is the commission financially sustainable. This resolution was recommended and reviewed by the town attorney. Therefore, it is in the best interest of the town of Oakland and its citizens to dissolve the commission now while we still have reserves and still receiving franchise fees. We should be proactive and use our share of the reserves and future franchise fees to help reduce the tax burden of our citizens while still recording our meetings. In this resolution, we propose to distribute the reserves based on the percentage that the village and town contributed to franchise fees in 2025. Prior to distributing the reserves proportionally, we will give any quarterly franchise fees back to the village that the town of Oakland has not matched in kind. So it's my understanding that they have paid the first quarter franchise fees and we have not. So that would be given back to them, so it would be more equitable. And then you have in here a spreadsheet with the quarterly payments, the available funds based on what I had seen in the most recent reports. Of course, that will have changed by now, but this gives you a general idea. Currently, our franchise fees percentage is about 63% and the village is 37%. And based on the total funds we have in that, in the commission, Oakland share would be $115,000 and the village share would be approximately $67,000. So that's what we have.
I have a,
Okay.
what I submitted wasn't included in the packet.
Correct.
So I gave everybody the report of the Cable Commission on the tables. And I'd like to, and also, I believe that the proper order of business for the town board is to have a discussion and vote by the entire board for future ordinances and resolutions, and that is not what happened here. This resolution was not directed to be drafted by our town board attorney by the entire board. How did the town attorney draft this?
He didn't draft it.
You drafted this?
Yes, along with Laura Lowry. Yes.
Okay, well,
He reviewed as he reviews all ordinances and he didn't review these small resolutions.
so you took it on without the board's direction to prepare this resolution, to disband the entire Cable Commission without talking to the Village of Cambridge or the Cable Commission.
Correct. We have requested information on multiple occasions for the last few months, and then
Okay,
this-
and I gave you information in what I wanted to be discussed tonight, and that's not on the agenda to be discussed.
we have we have made.
There were no bylaws presented, which was the prerequisite of getting any of your stuff on the agenda as made by a motion. It's in the minutes.
That was to get the,
That was to get
okay,
any
well,
further discussion.
the resolution for the Cable Commission is now on the agenda, so I can make my statement.
I'm
can make-
simply
subject to
saying
this.
You
that's
can make
why
any
your
statement
stuff
you
was
want.
not put on there, because the bylaws were not provided. And that was the prerequisite of getting anything you wanted about the Cable Commission
So
on.
So
how
we
did the
did-
resolution get put on the agenda then?
It was put on the agenda by the chair.
The chair has discretion to put anything on the agenda.
Yes,
Okay.
per state statute, the chair and the clerk are responsible
Okay,
for the agenda.
all right, well, what I gave you on your tables was the financial report for the second quarter that was approved at our last Cable Commission meeting on July 27th. And it does not include any approved expenses to be paid after that date. The town of Oakland, as Laura has said, has not paid for anything in 2026. Also, at the Cable Commission meeting, we discussed that the former lead operator, Gary Zabel, had resigned effective July 31st. And part of the unbalanced budget was because of the extra hours. We have now a new lead operator, and Gary stayed on to assist the transition of Melissa Marack to lead operator. Gary has been the mainstay of the Cable Commission for 25 and a half years. Gary definitely was the mainstay holding everything involving the Cable Commission together, making the success and existence of the Cable Commission possible. Gary implemented many upgrades to keep our communities informed via recordings of meetings and many, many community activities. The town of Oakland needs to express our gratitude to Gary and best wishes for his retirement. Further, at the Cable Commission meeting on July 27th, there was discussion of the town's request for bylaws. The village members pointed out that none of the village commissions or committees operate with bylaws. They are all governed by ordinances. The Cable Commission has been successfully operating under the village ordinance for 22 plus years. The town of Oakland does not have an ordinance. I prepared a very rough draft of an ordinance and submitted it to the chair several months ago, and it was not taken up to discuss and to prepare an ordinance. Also, there is not a statutory requirement for commissions to implement bylaws. At the meeting, at the commission meeting, it was decided that there is no need for bylaws. A motion was unanimously passed by the 6 members, 3 appointed by the village and 3 appointed by the town, that the Cable Commission continue to be governed by the Village of Cambridge Ordinance 2.76, as it has been for quite some time. This meeting was recorded and uploaded to the internet, so all board members are welcome to hear the discussion and any motions passed during that meeting. So, my problem is that the entire board did not discuss ending the commission. And how can you end the commission without talking to the village or the Cable Commission?
Well, this is up for discussion now. It has to be started at some point, and this is our discussion.
The Village of Cambridge was not involved in the decision of the disbandment of the commission.
We do not have an agreement that the town, or that the Village of Cambridge has. We do not have an ordinance.
We do not have an ordinance, and regarding the bylaws, that was a motion that was made
Okay.
by Jimmy to have them. Yes, you are correct. It is not required by state statute, but either is having a cable commission at all. But,
Okay.
you know, under the authority over municipalities for commissions, there's a subordinate statutes. A cable commission has no independent sovereignty. Its existence and powers are extensions of the town government. The town governing body retains the inherent right to set operational guidelines, demand organizational structures, and require formal rules of procedures. So that is under our purview to do. The ordinance that you discussed was just a copy that you presented was a copy of Chapter 2.76, the Commission of the Advisory Commission for the Village. However, there are in here quite a few powers and duties of the commission that has to deal with overseeing the cable company
Right,
as a
I said it
whole.
was a very rough ordinance.
However,
It
there
could
was,
have been discussed and amended.
as I told you, that we couldn't bring that forward because there was already all of this in here that was no longer relevant. It also refers to ordinances, other ordinances that we have no copies of. Furthermore, in the last section of this ordinance, it says, "This chapter shall remain in full force and effect until the area ceases to be served by a franchise or the cable television ordinances of the municipalities provide for no regulatory control by the municipality." So right now, we do have no regulatory control over the cable companies. And that is really the
Okay.
only thing that is in this ordinance. There is nothing that specifies about videoing, having employees, or any of those types of,
We could have drafted an ordinance that included all that. That's what I was asking. Plus, you had, over the last month or so, asked me to contact Charter/Spectrum regarding low wires and a down tree blocking a roadway. So in that precedent, you still thought that I, as the chair of the Cable Commission, had the authority to be the liaison, however you say that word,
liaison. However, you
between the cable company and
are
the town.
correct, but then you informed me that we could not get money from the cable company, that DATCAP was now in charge of it, and you actually sent
But that's
email
regarding
saying-
that part of it.
but
That
then
doesn't mean that you need to have a resolution to disband the entire cable commission.
that is correct. However, we are losing money every year in our reserves. We also have, you gave me a spreadsheet about the total meetings. So between 2024 and 2025, a couple meetings in 2026, the village had 53% of the there was 99 meetings, 53% of the village. Town had 30, others were 16 that were not the village or the town's meetings, so a total of 99. So we had 30%. In 2025 alone, the village had 54%
The point is,
of the the town had 30%. The franchise fees for the village are $15,500 roughly. Ours is $26,600 roughly. The cost per each municipality, based on the franchise fees that they submit, the village pays approximately $485, and the town
Per meeting.
per meeting. The town per meeting is $1,566. The cost for each municipality for 59 total meetings based on franchise
Hang on
fees.
1 second, Laura. What she's talking about is she took the total number
Right, but
of
she said
meetings.
1,000 per meeting.
$1,566 per meeting.
She's taking
because
the
the
total
franchise
amount of
fees.
franchise fees paid
Okay.
divided by the number of meetings to come out with what each side is paying per meeting.
If you take the 59 meetings total, so including other meetings that are not the village's meetings or the town's meetings, we have, and based on the franchise fees that each community pays, the village pays $263 per meeting. The village pays $263. The town pays $451 per meeting, based on the franchise fees we contribute. And then cost per meeting, based on the total 2025 expenses, which was $72,840.86. And you divide that by the 59 meetings, it's a total of $1,234.59 per meeting. So this is a very high.
Right, and we can amend it. We just,
I don't know how, you're telling us that.
if you keep the cable commission in place and say, okay, this is how much we want to pay per meeting. Just like you've got whatever it is that you, I mean, why are you looking to unilaterally
I'm not
dissolve?
unilaterally doing anything. This is a board discussion and a board vote. I'm not unilaterally doing
Well,
anything.
then you should change the wording in this. That's what the wording in this says.
It says that Laura Payne, I don't understand.
No, it says the town of Oakland is unilaterally dissolving the cable commission.
Would you like us to change it to the Oakland is
Dissolving the cable commission?
Well, why are you dissolving the cable commission?
we
Just
can say
pull
we're-
out.
Okay, we can pull out then. We can change it to pull out of the
And-
cable commission.
Because, and
We
I
can
don't
do
know
that.
where you got these statute numbers, because I printed out those statutes. That's not anything, I mean, 66.042 is basically talking about the companies. It's not, this is not correct. If you want to pull out of the cable commission, this is not the proper way to do it. And plus, it has to be an entire board decision if that's what you want to do.
The board, right here.
Right.
Correct.
But I am not voting on a resolution. That is not a proper way to do this. Because a resolution means that you should have contacted the Village of Cambridge.
We don't have an agreement with the Village of Cambridge.
They are part of the cable commission. You can't
We
resolve to
don't
terminate.
Okay.
We don't have that
Okay.
ordinance.
You
We do not
can-
have
okay.
the same
No,
ordinance.
I'm saying you cannot unilaterally pass a resolution to disband a cable commission that does not only involve the town of Oakland.
The
Legally,
village-
you cannot do that.
It's already gone by, Michael.
Well, I don't know how you got past these section numbers without saying, why is that in there?
These were the section numbers that were given to us. We can review
By
the
who?
section numbers
Who
by
gave
the
them
WTA. The WTA had given us section numbers,
to
and
disband using those section numbers? Well, okay.
so
If you want me
Okay,
to read
let's-
5 pages of 66.0420, I will read them, and you decide how that relates to a resolution to disband.
the state statutes are not regarding the disbanding of it. It's just regarding video services. That is what it is talking about in this resolution.
Oh,
So-
it says, the best financial and administrative interest of the town to dissolve the cable commission and to transfer the cable commission's remaining duties, funds, and property to the town clerk, and to carry out the town's statutory duties with regard to video service in accordance with blah, blah, blah. I don't know how Michael approved that, honestly.
Because it is what we can do, and we are suggesting that we do. If you would like to change the word from dissolving to pulling out, or something to that effect, so let's see what
Well,
Joni
I
has
would
to
like
say.
to make a couple of statements and have a few thoughts.
Okay,
Clearly, a video presence for our constituents is important.
yes.
Clearly, the funding, when you look at the history of the Cable Commission, and you look at the history of funding as it was done, we pay a greater percentage of that now, maybe because we have, and we pay more because there are more people who live in Cambridge, or in the town of Oakland than live in Cambridge, right? That doesn't necessarily equate to an equitable amount of service that's going to be given from this Cable Commission. Now, having said that, it's still, in this day and age, in 2009 or 2014 or 2020 even, before COVID, this was an efficient way to deliver video services. I think the conversation should be having right now is there a more efficient way for us to deliver video services to our constituents that is more cost effective.
Yes.
Because
that's on there.
this doesn't work. This Cable Commission looks to have an antiquated ordinance that apparently, from my perspective, the town of Oakland never really bought into, but became part of.
If you look at the
And I don't know,
attachments that I gave you,
yeah,
the minutes from the past, the town of Oakland did buy into it.
right, but they bought into it in practice, but not in statutory ordinance fashion, which is what
Right.
binds all this stuff together, good, bad, or indifferent. So that may have been,
That was the town's choice not to do an
right,
ordinance.
and
That's not the Cable Commission's fault.
no, it's not the Cable Commission's fault, and I think you're absolutely right about the word disband, because we're not even really, by ordinance, invested in it in quite that way. We couldn't disband that, but we could pull out. The difference from that is, if we pull out, what do we leave on the table, right? So I don't know. That's the part that Michael would have to say. Pulling out, is it different than the whole thing dissolves and disbands? If we don't have an ordinance or an intergovernmental agreement or something that tells us we have this invested whatever, I don't know, because it can't go both ways. Do you understand what I'm trying to say there, Laura?
Yes, I understand what you're trying to say.
So I'm not trying, I'm trying to get us past, I don't think we should be doing this anymore personally, because it's not cost effective for our people, and there are better ways for us to do this now.
Okay.
But we need to figure out a way to do that going forward that honors what's happened in the past and recognizes that things change.
Well, and plus, our meetings aren't the only thing that are reported.
No, but
It's
that's
the-
not my
The
responsibility to
community
record school boards.
activities and the
or-
churches and everything.
Right, but that's
are-
not my responsibility either
Well, they're
as a town person.
Our residents are involved in all those things.
Sure, but
So if you
churches can
wanna
record
have
their
the
own and put
residents-
them up, and school boards can record their own and put them up, because it's not that expensive anymore. And I'll tell you, schools have plenty of capacity to record and upload. They do it all day long. So, and I don't think we do anything with schools anymore, from what I understood, that it, basically what happens for schools now is they put up old CDs, because schools don't record it and put it up anymore. They share that information differently. So I don't know.
Well,
So there we go.
Yeah, you make
Jim?
great points. We've been talking about the finances of this commission going under, basically, for months now. In my
In
motion.
5 years, it's done.
Yeah.
So
In my
the-
motion, I've requested a budget and bylaws, as you mentioned, Joy. I haven't seen a budget or bylaws that were acceptable or even in the positive. This has been a downward trend for years.
Well-
Let me finish. And this commission stuff just reminds me of the bad taste that we already have in our mouth. We can do this cheaper. We can do this ourselves. We can continue to video our meetings, but we need to get out of this. And that's my
Okay.
opinion.
Well, what has a bad taste is, if you're talking about the Cambridge EMS,
I didn't say that.
well, the director of the EMS and the assistant took care of everything, and no one else had control of anything, and that's the bad taste I'm getting about this town board. Anyway, I don't think that this resolution should be passed tonight because it's saying it's going to be effective immediately. How does that serve our residents? We have no plan.
We do have plans.
We do have plans, and we will talk about that next.
Okay, if it's what you reported or included in the packet, there is no, what company did you get these from?
They are right off the internet, Joy. They are a starting point.
I
There
have-
is no
Okay,
final.
but it's not for next month, are you going to have
Yes,
this
it's going to
in
be
place?
ready for next month, Joy. Yes, that is the plan.
On your authority.
Not on my authority.
Well, that's what this is saying.
That is-
Everything is for the town clerk.
I am not doing any of this. We are taking a vote, you are taking a vote on whether or not
This resolution
continue-
is not proper.
to continue with the cable commission filming things. That's what it all boils down to. Is it a cost-effective proposition for us to do it? Is it better for us to sit down and, like the cable commission meeting that I watched where you admitted that you talked to Spectrum and that the franchise fees were going down $300 a quarter and that the wages are going to continue to go up, and Paula Hollenbach herself said that she realizes in the long term this is not sustainable.
Right.
So why wouldn't
Why have it affected tonight if this gets passed?
The main thing
It can't be
is
passed
is
anyway
that
because it's not a proper resolution.
according to our
The
attorney,
information
it is
in
a
here.
proper resolution. But we have from from your information that you had provided, that we have there is a large reserve right now, but based on the amount that you are spending, you are depleting the reserves, and those reserves will be gone in the next few years. And that is based on no changes in salaries, no changes in franchise fees, and no purchases of equipment. And that would be about 5 years. So that would be the most if everything stayed stagnant, but we know it won't. And so right now, there's a really big pool of funds in there. Why not?
That we want to grab.
Yeah, where do you want to grab it? It's
Yes,
ours.
yes, it is ours.
It's not yours.
What are you talking about?
It's not all yours.
No, it's not all ours.
We're not saying we're going to grab it all.
It's
But-
saying that some is going to go to the village and some is going to go to the town,
well,
which is
the
what.
village has never charged rent. I've got a list
Okay. But we
from the clerk treasurer
But-
saying what has never been charged to the cable commission.
But at the same
can
time,
make it
we have
resolve.
contributed more. We have much fewer meetings, and this was what was the decision of the village, and now the town is realizing that this isn't in our best interest.
So it's in the best interest to have the town clerk take charge of everything. Read your resolution.
That's inappropriate to say. I disagree with that comment.
Well, is it,
You
read
have
the
right to-
read the
you-
resolution.
You have a right to argue your case, but I think that's an inappropriate comment.
The reason why that we wanted just to have it based on the franchise fees is that is the easiest. And not go back to rent or anything like that. If we needed to go to that, if we needed to go to that degree of dividing it up, should we also, by the same token, go to how many meetings the village had versus how many meetings the town had? We had a lot fewer
Or
meetings.
do we charge the Lake Ripley Management District for their recording?
This is
Because
very
they are a
different
separate
than-
entity from the town of Oakland.
The Lake Ripley Management District didn't ask to be recorded. So I'm
Who
not
did?
sure
This is
what
what-
you're.
How did
what
that
you're
end
saying.
up being recorded then?
It was my understanding
No
from
idea.
Leanna that Gary
Gary
said we can,
Said
we
he was
can
coming.
Something.
yeah,
But
can,
aren't these
but they're
the
going to
franchise
I'm
fees?
sure.
That's our 20.
We did not request it.
They did not
And the
request
board
it.
has not agreed to that. So if you want to talk
Minus
about the Lake
the
District.
unbilled costs.
And the Lake District can
Okay, adding
choose
the
how
unbilled
they
cost
wish
per
to move
year.
forward
So
with,
that's what they.
Okay.
that's not
with their
That's what
meetings.
December
That's
is.
their
Yeah,
decision
that's
to
what
make.
Rent and
Um,
utilities.
Saying that they didn't get that,
I think we could be okay by saying that
their facility.
dissolving and replacing that word dissolving with removing Oakland from the commission. I could be acceptable to that.
Ah,
I
gotcha.
agree.
No,
Okay, makes sense.
I have a problem
So-
with all remaining powers, duties, responsibilities, files, equipment, ongoing franchise
I guess we
administration
felt that.
tasks, and physical
So-
or digital records or
Can I accept
property
that?
of the dissolved cable commission shall be transferred to the town clerk.
It doesn't have to come to me.
Well, it's
You
gotta
can
go to
take
the-
that part, well, it's
It's
got to
gotta
come
go
to the town.
clerk.
Somebody's
because
gotta
she
come to
manages
the
the
town.
finances.
Somebody's gonna do
But not
something.
all.
Well, our portion of it,
Well, it doesn't say that.
well, that's what we would get. That's what the resolution says. We get our portion. We don't get somebody
No,
else's.
where does it say that?
Well,
Where does it say that you're only grabbing the,
We're not, we can't collect the part that's not ours.
but where does this resolution say that,
If you're
Jim?
dissolving, you have to leave it behind.
The resolution is not proper.
It is proper. Our attorney
Well,
reviewed.
So I wonder if anyone had a conversation with Brian Wilson, is that really his name? That clerk
yes,
at-
he's the clerk treasurer of the village.
Um,
The
and-
conversation should be with the village
Well-
president. And I offered months ago, I asked,
So the conversation that I'm wondering is if they've considered this as a concern for them financially. I mean, I look at this from a fiscal perspective, and I think, wow, if I needed to make some changes somewhere, I probably would do something differently. I'm not sure they wouldn't be on board with this,
Okay,
with
let's have a
dissolving it.
discussion with them
I guess-
instead of passing this tonight.
My
Doesn't make
motion would
sense.
be to table this and what is another approach to making this happen and getting some more numbers and exact, we've got some exact equipment here and amounts, so, and having someone reach out about which we would want to, might be able, well, we can't do that until we would dissolve anyway, so that doesn't matter. It would be easy to have equipment for the next year. I'm just looking for a way forward, Joy. I, under no circumstances, believe this is the role we should be continuing, but I can't believe that the Village of Cambridge would continue in this path as well, given the opportunity to not be part of it
Well,
and to make their own decisions. Because I don't know, we don't need to be paying for the Lake District, we don't need to be paying for the school, we don't need to be paying for churches to have, and there could still be a cable commission and people could still choose to go through that, but we don't need to be part of that from my perspective.
right.
We
That's-
don't, as Oakland, don't need to be part of it. If they want to continue a commission,
They certainly
they
could.
certainly could do that. We
Right.
can use our money that we collect to do what we think as a board
Mm-hmm.
is appropriate. And this has been mismanaged, and I don't want any more part of mismanagement of these funds, because we have to be responsible to the people who are paying us.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I've seen in this thing so far, it hasn't been.
Well,
And
and-
we've
and
asked to have it fixed month after month, and I've seen zero.
And I'm not sure that at this point there are enough funds to sustain this kind of a system. to be honest. And so
It's a dying system.
30, 20 years ago or 15 years ago or whenever this started, there were different needs, there were different responsibilities. As I saw, I watched past videos and of meetings and saw that there were some really good reasons why things have changed so much. About the time the meetings stopped happening in 2014 is about the time that the state regulations changed to benefit the cable company. So now the cable company doesn't need to do the same things. They still need to pay the money for the easement and to be able to lay their cables and et cetera, but they don't have to have input from the towns anymore. So that commission doesn't have that same responsibility. So just from a pure financial, from a non-financial perspective, the role of the cable commission is not needed in that way, and we don't have people doing that role. We just pay somebody to videotape, which is a very appreciated thing, and it's been done well, but it's not fiscally responsible for us to do anymore.
Okay.
And
But I had asked months ago for Laura and Wendy to meet with the village administrator and president, and you refused to do so.
well, you were demanding it, number one.
I
Number two,
asked
we
you
were
to.
asking us,
You requested it 5 times in a span of 4 hours, Joy. That is not asking, that is demanding.
No.
I actually,
Yes, dear.
Yes, you did.
5 times.
This one and
We-
move on to
Emails.
that one.
emails. So I did,
I stood here and asked you in person to do it.
You sent that many emails to me also,
we can't.
asking.
I-
Over
I'd
and
like
over
to
and
see
over.
that.
I will send
To
them to
meet
you.
with the village
To meet
president?
with the village president and to meet with Chris, because I told you right off the bat that I wasn't going to meet with them because I do not
We're on
report
17.
to either of them.
We need to go to
I do not make any decisions on this board. I have,
How are you
I
going to
can,
do this then?
So
I'm not making a decision.
I'm
She's not
making a
making-
motion, if I could. I move that we table this for 1 month and that we move on to
Number 18.
number 18 with the idea that if the village of Cambridge would like to speak with us about our leaving the commission, they are welcome to reach out to us about leaving the commission. But I don't think there's a path forward to propping up the commission any further.
So are you talking about just not disbanding the commission? You're talking about the town of Oakland leaving the commission. So that's 2 different things.
that's 2 different things. Well, I think that we can vote. We could change this resolution, or we can,
She made a motion and I'll second her motion.
To table
well, we
it.
just talked about 2 different things, so I'm not quite sure what your motion is.
To
My
table
motion
it.
was to table this and then
Table
to table it.
17 and move on to 18.
We can't go on to 18.
to table 17.
Um,
And I guess the reason to table it is to give this organization another month to make sense of their world and to let the town of, the village of Cambridge know that we are anticipating pulling out or considering pulling out, and does that change how they look at their world? And, you know, I mean, I guess that's where I am. So how do I mention that or make that as a motion? That's a little.
Your motion, if I may,
Sure,
should
please.
simply just be table this.
Yep. Okay,
That's really what it should be. I
Yeah.
mean, you can make whatever you want, but,
but my motion is to table this until the next meeting.
and I think you seconded it.
Yes, I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion?
What is the downside to tabling it for 1 month?
Well,
I don't
in
see any downside.
my opinion, this has been mismanaged for a long time. It's going to be another month of mismanagement of funding. And there's been no correction in any of these actions with multiple requests.
Okay.
We need to be out of this as soon as we can. And we can do it ourselves, cheaper and better.
And there's a lot of options that we could have. We could Zoom them live. We
Right,
could
and
have our
that's a whole
attorney.
nother
But
thing.
there's so
Right.
many other things that we could be
So,
doing.
is there anything wrong with, from other people's perspectives, with this resolution that we should change? If we were to vote on it tonight, is it,
Remove the word dissolve and add remove Oakland.
and.
Yeah,
or-
It just
or-
has to be completely redone.
It does not need to be
So
completely
Joy, what would
redone.
you see as the things that would need to be redone
It has to
specifically?
be a resolution to
To leave,
leave the municipal, well, and it's not a municipal cable
commission.
commission.
it's just a cable commission, the
It's
Cambridge
the
Cable
Village
Commission?
of Cambridge, Town of Oakland Cable Commission.
That's not what they're, that's not what
Well,
they're,
it's the advisory commission.
they call it, we don't even, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's been called 5 different things.
Right.
Cable
And-
Television Advisory Commission is what is on
And
there.
the Cable Commission is enough. I don't think the specific naming is,
So that's not a big, that's not something that we can
that's
just,
my,
And I have a question about transferring the duties to the town clerk. I mean,
Who
so,
else is going to do it?
who else is going to do it?
well, she didn't even know how to set up the laptop at last meeting.
I didn't do anything with the laptop at the last meeting, Joy.
well, let's not.
Well,
And that
no,
has
because
nothing-
Melissa did it.
That has nothing to do
I
with
mean-
what's being discussed here. Nothing
Okay.
whatsoever.
I'm just saying that we have to rethink that part of this
And-
resolution.
Well, and Jimmy asked a good point, and I don't care who is going to take it over and who is going to do the job then.
If you think you're qualified to do it.
Oh,
Joy,
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 don't even go
The
there.
discussion points would come in the next agenda item.
Okay,
that's
fine.
why
That's
we're-
what the next agenda item is for.
That's why we're trying to table
I-
this one,
But-
so we can go to that.
I hear you.
I
hear that.
think that there is no reason why it does need to be dissolved, because their ordinance would have to change anyway. It talks about
Okay,
Cambridge
but
and
leave it up to
Oakland.
them. You can't change their ordinance.
We're
How
not
do you
ch-
change a
we're
Village
not
of Cambridge
changing-
ordinance?
We're not changing the
I
ordinance.
did not say that. I
So
said that
why
they,
does it have to be dissolved?
it will practically,
Just do a resolution to pull out of the
Okay.
Cable Commission.
I am speaking and I am not appreciating you interrupting me. Settle down. So I am saying that dissolving is really the practical way of doing this, because it is a joint commission. So if we pull out, it is now just the Cambridge Commission. So they will need to redo their ordinance. So dissolving it will just automatically happen when we leave. However, if it makes everyone feel better, we can change a resolution for Oakland to leave the Cable Commission, if that wording is more palatable.
This says, because the commission is joint with the village, the town chair cannot simply pass a resolution to shut the entity down completely. Doing so without the village's agreement or proper legal notice could breach the underlying intergovernmental contract or violate joint cable franchising terms.
I don't know what you're reading from, and I am not doing that myself. I don't know
Well,
why you're
The
saying
town
that.
board,
Okay,
we
please do not
cannot
say the chair,
just-
because I am not doing this. It is a board decision.
okay. The town board cannot simply pass a resolution to shut the entity down completely.
Okay, we will not shut it down completely. We will say that we are leaving the Cable Commission.
That should be included in the motion.
Yes.
If you want to revise or amend your motion, that would be the time to do it.
Well,
Well, I could remove my resolution.
You can
So
certainly
I will
withdraw it.
remove my resolution to table this. I can make a resolution, I would like to
motion.
amend Resolution 2026-08 to read to read a resolution to leave the Cable Commission and providing for the transfer of its powers, duties, and assets
Okay, I will second that motion.
Regarding the town of Oakland.
regarding just the town of Oakland.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion?
But are we still tabling it for
No.
discussion?
No, I
No,
removed
you're
the
now in
table.
discussion.
We're now in discussion of to leave.
As of tonight? Is that what you're,
what
without
it
any
says, yeah.
notice to the Village of Cambridge?
As soon as we vote.
No. That, I don't think was your intention. Your
No,
intention
my
was,
intention was to try to get over this hump because I feel like there's,
but to leave the Village of Cambridge, say, okay,
Joy,
see ya.
here's my concern. I don't think we should be doing this anymore.
Okay, I
So we've
understand
got
that, but
1
you-
month that we could do that. It makes sense, though,
but
Joy,
see,
we're,
That's not what they're saying.
I
They are
know.
saying you're voting on this
I
tonight.
know.
To leave
I know they
tonight.
are.
Exactly.
And and then the discussion came up that why would we leave a month's money on the table? And I.
We're not paying in anything.
Quite honestly, well, we're paying money because we would recoup money back from what's being paid out. It just changes that amount. But the part that,
If we leave, I think we're leaving that money behind.
no, I don't know if we would or wouldn't. I mean, legally, we're part of that. It sounds better that way, but I don't know. Coming from my education background, I wouldn't spring this on the Village of Cambridge, my co-worker, even if I didn't like working with that organization or that other school, without having had a conversation with them about it, quite honestly.
See?
But from a financial perspective, getting out right away is what would be the prudent thing for the town of Oakland.
I have watched some of the videos that you have of your meetings, and I will say that the three of you who represent the town of Oakland have not done a good job representing the town of Oakland and explaining the concerns of the town board. You had said that we wanted bylaws, and that was shut down immediately by Paula Hollenbach, saying, we never had this, we're not going to do it, you need to sign the ordinance that we have right here and right now. You did not
Sign
do.
the ordinance?
Yeah, it was, she said, do this ordinance and not the bylaws. You need to have the same as this. I don't feel that you have had an opportunity over many meetings to explain what our concerns were and try to fix them at the commission level. And it really has not been done. And so you voted, we don't need bylaws. Well, we've asked you for bylaws. We have had concerns about the budget. You still passed a budget that was more than the revenue.
It's not any different than us taking out a loan. I mean, our budget for the town of Oakland is not balanced either, but we take out money.
We will be getting taxes back every year, and eventually this kind of money could go towards the deficits that we have. The Cable Commission.
But we don't have a balanced budget without the loan.
Okay.
Okay,
Here's
you're
where I'm
getting-
at. I'm
okay.
going to call the question.
Okay.
What is the motion, and who seconded?
The motion is to approve resolution number 2026-08, changing from a resolution to dissolving to Oakland leaving the municipal, or we can just take out municipal, the Cable Commission, and providing for the transfer of its powers, duties, and assets.
Now, I've just called the question. Please, Madam Chair, take it to a vote.
Okay, so all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. Okay.
Now, let's talk about how we're going to fix it.
So can I make a motion that we would pay what we would owe for the first quarter of this year to the Cable Commission? Since we've already got funds that are,
When
we've
we
used those funds?
When we, well, we're kind of past that now, but
Okay,
no.
all right.
But in the distribution of funds, we've taken that into account.
Okay.
So the Village of Cambridge has 30 days to object.
Yeah, so that they can let us know. It's just a timeline. Okay.
To submit to the approval of the final report, if the town or village.
Okay,
does
we're
not-
moving
We're
on.
on
Discussion and possible
I
action.
just wanted a clarification of the wording.
We got to move
voted,
on.
We
Just-
have to move on.
You need it.
We're on 18.
We're on 18, discussion and possible action on alternative methods of recording Town of Oakland meetings.
So what I did to start out with was just a very basic, all right, I want to record a town board meeting. We have 3 tables in a U shape. How can we best do this? Laura has also talked to Kim Cheney at Town of Koshkonong to see what they, I'm sorry.
She's the chair.
Chair of Town of Koshkonong to get an idea what they use. This is not set in stone by any means. My suggestion would be to look it over. If you want to do something similar to what you did with Jeff and say, we will spend up to X amount of dollars to procure a system to do this. Something very simple. It doesn't have to be anything very fancy by any means. We would be able to upgrade later on if we wanted to allow for someone to Zoom, for it to be live streamed. But the starting point would be, what would you like to see? What would you like to spend on a system that we can get up and running? The tantamount things that I think we should be considered of are ease of use, quality of the sound, and quality of the picture. We've had lots of issues with sound with this. I noticed that last time when I went back to listen to the minutes and try to get through them, there was lots of sound distortion going on. I'm not sure exactly what it was because it wasn't a specific, it wasn't a staticky sound, but it was another sound, a noise. So I think those are the things we should probably be focused on. I am not tied to any specific kind of equipment, any specific, so if you have suggestions or if you want to bring things forward, definitely bring them forward. Like I said, my idea, I guess, would be to do something similar to what you did with Jeff. Say, the most we want you to spend is this amount of money. It can all be brought back here. Special meeting if we need to have a special meeting, but to get it up and operational for the next meeting. So we will be able to
So
go
are you
ahead.
only recording the town board?
And the planning committee.
The planning committee, so it'd have to be by the 1st of September then?
Well, that's why
That's
the information
Less
is out
than
here
2
right
weeks
now.
away.
I don't know if there's any planning committee meeting on.
There is.
Okay, well, then I guess we've got to make a decision. Not me, you guys.
So are these opinions, one,
These, I just, Jimmy, went
Are
on,
they in
and I'll
order,
be quite
or-
honest with you. I went on to ChatGPT and I said to it, all right, so here is the situation that I've got that I'm looking at. And it came up with some different suggestions of things that could be done based on the size that I told it. You can get very specific with it and you can give it dimensions of your room and everything like that. It can work things out for you. Or we can simply look and see what they have at Town of Koshkonong. Look at what some of the other villages are using. I will tell you right now, flat off the bat, when my church went down for COVID, they recorded the church services on a cell phone. I'm not saying we should do that, but they used a cell phone. They recorded that and a tripod. They streamed the services every day, not just the Sunday service, but they streamed every day's service, and they also posted it on their Facebook page, so people who couldn't watch it then could go back and watch it later. Quality was very good on it. I'm not saying that we're doing that,
Right.
but I'm just saying that's an
How do you
example
do
of what
that?
can be done.
I'm reading the last one, I believe.
How do you do that, though?
What do you mean, how do you do that?
How do you do
If
what?
you can stretch to about $4,500, it looks like we can kind of do a pretty darn good job from everything we're asking here.
Well, I have a question, though. You're going to be taking care of this, Wendy? You
What?
don't even post anything on the internet site?
I do
the
post
town-
things on the internet site. I usually let Laura do it when she's here, but I know how to do it.
You know how to do it?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
We have a spot already on our website. Talked about having, not just having Oakland residents going to the village website to get Oakland.
Do we have a
YouTube.
YouTube channel?
That would be something we would have to put in place.
Yeah, we can put that in place. I know how to do that. We can do that. And we can,
You can't upload the video, is my understanding, directly onto Town Web, but to our webpage, but you can put the link there for them to go from it.
just as it's
So
done
what
right now.
about hiring Melissa to record for us until we get this in place?
That would be a board decision. I think the whole idea behind it was the fact that it was cost prohibitive to go down this route.
Well, I'm skeptical that this is going to work, but I'm only 1 out of 5.
Well, I did go into Kashkanan and discussed it with Kim Cheney. It's working very well for them. They actually live stream theirs. They have a TV so that people can be on there to be part of the meeting. So, for instance, if our attorney or town engineer or somebody else needed to be on here, that would save us money too, because they wouldn't have travel fee. This is something we can do in the future. It's not something we could do now.
So we may not iron out every
Every
detail
detail.
tonight, but we could authorize to spend so much money, right, to get started?
Yes, so we can start out smaller, just video the meetings, and over time, we can decide to add other options that we do not have at this moment,
Okay.
that we could never do as we are videoing our meetings right now. So there are steps we can do in the future. It has worked out very well for them. I have also talked to somebody who, a consultant who does these things, and I will also touch base with them
This is
about.
another thing. It's like a one-person.
Would you like to
Pony
take
show.
care of it, Joy?
No,
Are you
I-
asking? Is that the problem? Would you?
I didn't think that this was
Okay.
going to go through
So
tonight.
let's,
Okay.
We need to authorize some money, right?
I make a
No, not at
motion
that
that we
point.
authorize, I would say $3,500 for the initial setup. And if more money is needed, then we'd have to come back to the next board meeting.
Okay.
But I would say authorize $3,500 for the initial purchase of materials, of equipment.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion?
Who is going to order this equipment?
I will go ahead and look it over and get some feedback from some other people that I know that are in the biz that do this kind of thing. I can email it to all of you to look over and either say, yes, that looks like a good idea, or maybe you should consider this instead. I don't have a problem sending it all out so you can see.
So
What
if
I'm
we have
thinking?
someone that could do this,
What do
We
you mean?
could
Well, as far as
suggest-
ordering and,
Well,
you
we
would
could
have to order.
definitely have someone go ahead and take care of ordering. That's not a
no,
problem.
no. I'm just saying, we can give you a suggestion of maybe this, if we have a friend that does this kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you do, I do too, and I've consulted with them too. But if you have somebody that you know,
That can
that
suggest equipment.
that is fine.
I think
It's
your
pretty
approach to send it out to us once you have it, and if anyone has someone who they think would be particularly good and they want to pick their brain and get some information and pass it on, great.
That would be my thought too.
Okay.
Can I just say something about the resolution? Am I going to get?
No, we're not talking about the resolution anymore.
Are you going to amend it the way we've talked about?
Yes,
So
yes,
we can
that's-
at least give it to the village so they can,
Yes, we will send it to them.
because they have to
Yes,
do
of
things in
course.
30 days, it looks like.
We'll send it to them, we'll revise it and send it to them tomorrow.
Can you send
We-
us
we-
all
we're
a
off-
copy of that?
We got to vote on a motion.
Yeah, we got to vote on the motion.
So Joni made the motion for 3,500. Jimmy, you seconded.
Discussion that I,
Okay. All right. Any further discussion about this motion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Opposed? Okay,
No.
okay, motion carries. Okay, we will move on to approval of disbursements. You have that on your desk.
all right, so.
Did anyone have any questions?
You'll see a lot of names in there that you do not recognize this time, possibly in the payroll section at the beginning, and that's because all of the election workers got paid
Oh, okay.
on this paycheck for last Tuesday's election. You also might see David's truck driving school on there. An agreement was made with David Friend when he came to work for Jeff that we would pay for his schooling. He had to agree to stay at the town of Oakland for so long after he had the schooling or reimburse us for the amount of the school. And he is done with it now, and he did pass. So, yeah.
Yeah, so, and
Yes.
he's working out very well. We are very lucky to have him. Jeff is very pleased. So, would anyone,
I make a motion to approve the funds starting from ETF for $1,332.17 through check 2373 for $1,795.83 for a grand total of disbursement of $168,215.72.
I'll
okay, do we
second.
have a motion? and a s-
$1,327.17. I
What?
think she said a different amount.
1,600.
No, she was talking about the first one, 132717,
Did I
Department
say
of
that
Revenue.
incorrectly? Did I
No.
transpose something?
No, I think
I'm looking at a different,
you did fine.
I think it was correct,
Grand
so,
total.
I thought you said a different amount.
For the grand total, of $186,000.
No,
168.
There you go.
Had it right the
That's
first
why I was
time.
doing transpose.
I am. That's unfortunate.
Okay, that's all right.
$215.72.
Okay, so we have a motion
We
by
got ears here.
Joni.
We got
She taught
proofreader.
science, not
I
math.
taught math. I taught
Oh, you
algebra.
taught
taught
math. I thought
everything.
You taught science.
Great algebra.
Would anybody like to second?
I did.
You did?
Jimmy
I'm
did
sorry, I
already,
didn't hear you.
yeah.
Okay, all
We all said A.
in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We're going to move on to correspondence.
My mistakes with Dustin.
Beat ya. They start beating.
First piece that you probably have in your packet is the ordinance 2026-10
Yes.
that came from Jefferson County, and that is the data
Data
center
center.
moratorium
Okay.
that was passed, signed, and Audrey sent a copy over to us. So I just wanted to show you all that we had that. Second piece of correspondence is a letter that came from Laura, about Laura from the Oakland Park Homeowners Association Board. A lot of you are probably familiar with what went on with Frontier and all the problems we had with them cutting up people's lawns, going in without letting them know ahead of time that they were going to go in there. Some opened some gates, I've been told. There were holes dug into the lawns and they didn't get filled in properly and they washed out. So I took a number of calls. Laura then went above and beyond that, walked a lot of the territory on a fairly regular basis to find where these things were. We had to work a lot with DeLucan, Tobin,
And Frontier, finally.
and Frontier later, finally, to get these problems solved. There are a few little remaining things, I think, that remain to be done, but for the most part, they're taken care of now. And the lady, I'm assuming she was Peggy Sundquist, she didn't tell me who she was. She walked in and she just asked me if I could give this letter to Laura. So that's what is right there. Let's see, what else in correspondence? We received notification. Yes, I sent this to you guys today, in case anyone is interested in going. The county is doing a flooding disaster simulation. You have to register for it apparently if you would like to go to it. It does say community leaders, government, so if any of you are interested, by all means, go ahead, sign up. A couple of other just pieces of information. We received information today from the county that the August tax settlement, which is the last part of our property taxes for last year, will be deposited in our account probably tomorrow. That's like $270-some-thousand, so ching-ching, that would be nice for us. I also applied for a grant from the state for, it's basically for election security. So any hardware or software that you would use in managing the election can qualify for this. So we had in the budget already to spend money to replace Laura Lowry's and my computers this year. This grant will put $2,000 towards that replacement. So we've been approved for that.
All right, good job.
We're still working on FEMA. Don't know what the situation is going to be there. May get some money, may not. Jeff and I put a lot of time into getting together facts and figures for them, and I'll let you know as soon as we have a final determination. Feds are ready to turn it over to the state at this point. And that's all I have.
Okay.
Board of Review, oh, we're not talking about that yet.
Okay,
Well-
we'll move on to announcement. Just Board of Review is August 26th at 3 p.m. to 5. We have to stay at least until 5 per state statute.
Yep, I was just going to let you know I will be having a meeting, pre-Board of Review meeting with Dana on Thursday. She hopes to be able to tell me then how many cases we will have. You know,
That's-
how
you
many
said 3
people
to
that are
5.
actually going to
3 to
be
5.
at the meeting to
3
be
to
heard.
5.
Because
But
we've
it
been,
could be much later.
Depending, so what Wendy's saying, she will find out
Right.
from Dana, and then we'll get a better idea, and we'll let you know.
So they don't contact you, they contact her?
they have to go through a process where they fill out an objection form. When they
Right, I
turn in
thought
the
they gave it
objection
to you.
form to me in the office, I need to turn it back into the assessors. Because some of these people may not have come to open book, so some of the time they can talk things over the phone and they can make an adjustment to it right then and there, so they don't even have to go to Board of Review. But it has to go through her, they talk to them, and then the determination
I
is
know
made.
that.
She gets that form also because then they need to start building their case as well as the citizens need to start building their case.
Correct, but don't we still have to have them on if they filed an objection?
Well,
Unless
if it hasn't
they're
been-
the ones that need to withdraw it.
Right, if they haven't been satisfied with what went on with Dana, like there's one gentleman I know in particular, they were able to work something out over the phone and she did an adjustment and that was filed and his new statement went out to him. So he will probably not
Right.
be coming in front of the board because there's nothing else.
So,
Right.
so we will let you know if we need to go longer, if we need to set up another date for that. So again, that's on August 26th at 3. Also on the 26th is that transmission line meeting that I encourage everyone to go to learn more. It's between 10 and 1 at the fairgrounds right off 18 in Jefferson.
But it's an open house, so you
It's an
don't
open
have
house
to be there the
anytime.
whole time.
No, just whenever you can go between 10 and 1. You
And
can-
we will get the one posted tomorrow that's going to be at the library in Fort Atkinson.
And
That
that's
is going to be on
And that's just a
Thursday, I think.
citizen
Yeah, a
group
citizens
meeting.
group, but still, people might be interested.
Right. And another announcement I have is that Blue Jay Way and Potters Road will be repaved on September 1st. There will be
They're going to start the pulverizing.
the pulverizing, I couldn't think of the word. Pulverizing, they're going to start, it is the first day of school, so it's not ideal, but that, we didn't have control over the budget, but they're going to start with.
The road is
blue-
already closed. It says road closed
They were
already.
fixing a they were
They were
changing out a
fixing
culvert.
culvert. So
Oh.
I
our
know that
crew
'cause
was
I
doing
had
that
avoided it.
today, so that they are ready for the reconstruction of the road. So the repaving or the pulverizing will start September 1st. They'll start on Blue Jay Way so that it won't interfere with the beginning of the school day. And then they will be done with both Blue Jay Way and Potters Road by the end of the day prior to the school letting out. And the following week, everything will be paved, and that will be all taken care of.
And that's, the village of Cambridge is going in on that with us?
Yes.
So they've been contacted.
Yeah, Jeff is coordinating with
Yeah.
Cody or
It's nice
Corey or
to
what his
be,
name is
good
over there.
friends
So that was
on some things.
that was taken care of quite a few months ago. It's just that it's taken this long to be on the agenda.
So they're going to do both those roads in
Yes.
that time frame.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's very exciting news.
Blue Jay Way is from the churches to the Park Road, is that how? 'Cause in
Yes.
front of the school, there's
So
nothing wrong
Blue
with
Jay
it.
Way, yeah, you're correct, from Park Road to Potters Road. So that one section.
So Blue Jay Way goes from Park Road to
In front of the school.
Potter, right, in front of, up to the school, but not, and then they're going up to the corner with North?
Yes.
All the way down to?
To 18.
To 18.
The entire length of Potters. And then just that one section of Blue Jay Way. The other section of Blue Jay Way was done a number of years ago.
And next year, we can talk about North Street?
We can
Yeah,
talk
oh my
about
gosh,
whatever
I
roads
know,
you would
I
like
know, I
to.
know.
So yes, that can be on the discussion. And so that's all the announcements I have. Do you have any other announcements?
Nope.
Okay.
I do not.
The number 23?
Okay, we'll move past 22. We have done that. So we move on to discussion and possible action on Johnson Block engagement letter. So you have that in front of you, and that is giving them the authority to complete the audit with the Cambridge Fire Commission.
Yep. I'll make a motion to approve the letter.
Okay, Jimmy's made a
Johnson
motion.
Block engagement letter.
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion second by David. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the Johnson Block engagement letter, say aye.
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We will sign that and send that out tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to
Are we
future.
supposed to send that back to Michael or directly to Johnson Block?
I believe we can send Michael a copy of it.
Okay.
Okay, we move on to future agenda items. We will continue to have more ordinances on here with the fee schedules. I'm sure we will be discussing the transmission line further, even though we don't have any regulatory control over that.
We'll
We-
put a resolution together, you think, or at least have an opportunity to?
Yeah,
Like we
I
did
think
at the
so.
district, or we will probably do that at the district too. Maybe
Yeah.
next meeting.
Right,
We
I
should get
prob-
together
probab-
and coordinate.
Yeah,
that.
we can coordinate with that.
What are you talking about?
The high lines.
The power lines.
Power lines.
To put together a resolution.
Because of the man Jeffrey
Bouchard.
Bouchard, yeah.
Oh, yes.
conversation. I'm really disconcerted by Enbridge and everything getting pushed off, and things I'm reading in the newspaper about Enbridge in other places. I don't know, is there any, I don't know.
We'll have an Enbridge update. I don't have
I know,
one
you don't
today
get to
because there was, I don't have nothing has happened
Yeah.
to update you on.
Right.
But hopefully next month, the DNR will.
Didn't you guys talk though at one point about having them come back like
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
another year or something? Is that coming up soon? I didn't know when the spill
Probably
happened.
after the DNR has an opportunity, they're reviewing their large site investigation plan that summarizes everything that's happened since the spill. They have not completed that yet, and once they do, I think that is a good time
Okay.
to.
I just
to have
remembered
that.
you guys talking about
Yeah,
that before.
yeah, so that would be a good time to have that.
Yeah,
Uh,
and it's not that I think somebody's not doing their job here, I just feel like
And we've had
I'm
the,
venting.
we will continue to talk about it, and we've talked about having that, probably, maybe you weren't here then, but once they have that report done, we talked about having after the SVE system is in place,
Right,
but
and
now
that
that's
got
been
pushed
delayed.
back, right, and
So, maybe we don't wait for that. But I will be
Yeah.
in touch with Enbridge and request that from
And the
them.
Lake District continues to do our own sampling,
Okay,
and we submit it, and then they do their sampling, and it goes
Okay.
to different people.
different people.
And we get results
Oh,
back, and they've worked with us.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, we've been doing that since the beginning.
Okay,
Right.
good, that makes me feel better.
And they will be doing their upgrades, and so, hopefully
Okay.
we'll have more of, that's supposed to be coming up very soon.
Okay,
And so I'll keep,
that could be an agenda item, it
yeah.
just depends on when the
yeah, we'll have
information
it, we'll,
comes.
it's a
enough.
pretty standard agenda
enough.
item, so yeah, we will
Okay.
be doing that.
One thing that Susan did mention that you guys would need to do probably next month as we get closer to budget is doing a closed session so you can discuss. I am at the end of the wage table that I've got. 2026 is the last year of the 2 years that you guys approved. So she just said normally September, whatever, you would get together and have a closed session meeting to discuss what you were going to do regarding wages, benefits. So I know starting January 1 of 2027 what your plan is, and so we can budget for it
Correct.
also.
Yeah, so we'll have to do that in
Well, and
September.
we talked about, we haven't done employee evaluations. Remember, we talked about that?
Yeah, we can do that as well.
That's, I think, important to do because we can hear vice versa, too.
Yeah, we can do that. So, yeah, we will, if we don't, I don't know if September is the best month for the evaluations, but, definitely in the next couple of months, we can do that. Okay. We will move on to public comment. So if we have any remaining residents that would like to speak, please feel free to do so. State your name and address, please.
Sheila Palinkas, N4233 Alpine Village Lane, Oakland. Sorry to keep you another 3 minutes.
That's okay.
I hope that the next time we have to have a difficult conversation about something like, removing ourselves from an agreement and eliminating jobs, that we can have a more productive conversation. Tonight was not a good situation. I would have preferred us to acknowledge that we have an issue and talk about possible solutions and talk about possibly bringing the affected parties together before bringing a resolution to the table that had been clearly discussed and thought out, at least between two people. There are a lot of people among us who do have expertise in certain things, and a healthy discussion among all board members about how to solve a problem before bringing the solution to the table would be probably a lot more productive and less painful for everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, any further public comment? All right, no, okay. So our next monthly board meeting will be September 15th, but we will be, like we said, having board of review. I hope all of you can attend. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, all in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.